Hey guys, Andrew Shrout here in the sideboard. I'm here with Jim Davis, one of the at-large competitors here in the Players Championship.
That's me.
And we are here to talk about your Legacy deck.
Oh boy, yeah.
So you've played several Legacy decks over the years. You were known for Goblins for a while. There was a stretch recently this year we were playing a lot of Burn, throwing a lot of Lightning Bolts around.
I was doing that, yes.
And then at the Invitational last week, you threw some Burn around in a little different way.
Yes, we went on a total 180 of what I'm used to doing. But picked up Storm. The deck seemed really, really well positioned.
Okay.
It just seemed like everyone's trying to out-delve each other, and they're cutting the Spell Piercers from their deck, and there's always Delver decks, which normally would be a bad matchup, but they're playing no Wastelands, no Spell Pierces, and just 4 Dazes and 4 Forces.
Okay.
And it just seemed like it was extremely well positioned, and I just ran with it. So I played it online a little bit. I'm definitely not a Storm player,
sure.
you know, but we crash coursed and we got through it,
Okay.
and here we are. So
Yeah, we're slowly becoming a Storm player, right?
yeah, we're working on it.
Getting there.
We're in like Storm 102 maybe right now.
Okay. All right.
Freshman year, a little rough, gonna party a little bit and try and stay focused, and maybe one day I'll graduate and become a
one day you'll be
a Storm player.
You'll go to Storm grad school or something. Like Doomsday, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. Whew, I don't even want to think about
it.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
So yeah, you got the basic components of a deck. Obviously, you have your rituals, your Lotus Petal, LED. When you're ad nauseam, these costing 0 is pretty important. Obviously the rituals,
Sure.
Dark, and then Cabal.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's on the next slide.
Yeah,
or not,
yes. Storm, of course, it's a known deck.
Right.
But,
yeah. So you ritual a lot. You brainstorm Ponder effects, obviously. We have 2 Preordains. The one difference from this list from last week's list was I cut 1 Preordain, and I added a Grim Tutor.
Oh, okay.
So it's the 5th kind of big card you can have to go off with in case you don't have Infernal Tutor yet.
It's like an extra action card.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't cast it yet to like get a sideboard card or something. I'm sure you can do that too, or even like set up with it, like get an LED or so on.
Right.
And that's the big one. Past in Flames. That's one you usually go off with. It's really good to naturally draw too. Because a lot of times you can, you go off against a counter spell deck, and you LED pitching that and casting your Infernal Tutor. And they might have the force for your Infernal Tutor, but then you just flash that back and cast everything anyway.
Okay.
So naturally drawing is pretty sweet. Some of us have played 2. I only have 1.
Okay.
4 to rest through Therapy. It's your defense.
Sure.
Therapy you get a snipe with, so you get the Ataxian Probes. Some play 4 and 3. I'm not confident enough for that. We'll just do 4.
Okay.
4 to rest, 3 Therapy.
Training wheels for now.
Yeah, we'll just we'll take a peek first, then we'll snipe.
Fair enough.
And Infernal Tutor is obviously the core of the deck.
Sure. And then we are.
There's the Grim Tutor.
There he is.
That's a fancy. We got Ad Nauseam. That's the fun one. It's a big sweat. You go through your popping up. I had to one time in the Invitational. I had to be at like 2 life and just go a few cards deeper.
Nice.
And we got there, of course.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Obviously things went well that day.
Yeah.
But and your kill card as well. So
gotta win with something.
Yeah.
The burn spell.
Right. So the deck list is pretty standard. Mana base 2. I'm playing Misties because I have a Bayou. I want a second green source in case people want to wasteland me. I have my Decay. I have a lot of green cards on my sideboard. I have the Decays, the Carpet of Flowers, and the Xanad Swarms.
All right.
And theoretically, some of those decks could have Wasteland against me, even though no one's playing Wasteland anyway, which is why this deck's good. But and your 2 basics as well.
All right.
So
Okay.
pretty simple for the main deck.
For sure. Before we get to the sideboard, let's talk a little bit about why you chose to play Storm. I know you mentioned that you thought it was really well positioned, but like you haven't really, at least to my knowledge, I have not seen you play a lot of unfair decks in Legacy.
That is a pretty fair assessment.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, obviously played Goblins and Burn. I played some Stoneforge decks, some Delver decks occasionally, like Esper Stoneblade or whatever. But this might be my first unfair deck. I think you're right.
Nice.
So yeah, and I mean, it's just again like I'm willing to play whatever is the best. I think it's the best. And if a deck just seems so well positioned that it just my slight experience with it will be overwhelmed, then we do that. So
okay.
I didn't expect much to change honestly from last week to this week. I mean, there might be a few more Flusterstorms maybe, but I don't think people are going to change their decks that much. I don't think Wasteland just all of a sudden get a, I don't know where I come back.
Wouldn't think.
So, I mean, I know Stephen Mann was playing. I think he played Rug Delver at the Invitational, like old school with Wastelands and Stifles and stuff. And I'm probably not beating that deck anyway, so it's fine. Okay. So, I was pretty happy with how well positioned it was. So.
All right. How concerned were you actually with the specific metagame of this tournament? Because I know, especially with Legacy, you can actually pinpoint what you think a lot of the players are going to show up with.
Yeah, I think I put most of my preparation into Legacy. I made a matrix of like all the decks I think people would play, decks people have played in the past, and I assigned a percentage to each one.
Okay.
So you have like Joas that was like 95 on Miracles, and then you have like Kevin Jones is like 50% Delver, 30% Stoneforge, 20% who knows. And I kind of like made a possible metagame I was going to play against, and it seemed like it was good against most of those decks.
Okay.
Honestly, it seemed like there'd be like maybe 4 or 5 Delver decks, 2 or 3 Miracles decks, A few Stoneforge decks here and there. You know, maybe Ross plays Elves, which is a good matchup. So, you know, seemed like it was pretty well positioned.
All right. We'll go through the sideboard cards real quick. Just kind of card by card, what's going on with them.
So Decay is really, really good. Decay answers all the problem cards, you know, Canonist, Thalia, Chalice of the Void, and you can't counter it, obviously. So it's a very, very important card on the sideboard, why I have a second green source, too. Surgical is kind of a nod to the mirror, and then Reanimate is really, really bad matchup.
Okay.
Which we could see this weekend. I know CVM has played it before. But it's kind of a nod to that. Swarm's pretty good. It's against the counterspell decks. I don't love it. It's fine. The other green card, though, Carpet of Flowers. That card's bananas. It's on the next slide.
Yeah, but we're getting there.
Sure, so we'll get there. Bananas are coming up next.
Yes.
Chain of Vapors, you're kind of your catch-all. You can catch the ones that Decay can't catch, like Leyline of Sanctity, right? And other stuff like that, or like a Rourke Thar or something. Sure. And Massacre is obviously really good against the Death and Taxes decks or Thalia's decks. Bob's for like the slower decks like Miracles, and decks that are also going to attack your hand, so you can refill. And then Carpet of Flowers is just bananas. It's just, this card's awesome. I've been learning more and more about this card the more I play it. You can you cannot use it in your first main phase and go to your second main phase and trigger it, so you can use it like a Dark Ritual essentially, and it's really, really good.
One of those old cards that just by reading it, you wouldn't actually know what it does.
Definitely.
You actually have to get the Oracle text to realize that.
Definitely. So it's really good against the soft permission like Spell Pierce and stuff like that. And it's honest, it's just a ritual against. It's like it's literally just a Dark Ritual against like with Islands. So very, very good.
All right, fair enough. And so you're basically just taking your 150 from
it's 148
from last week. All right,
but yes,
one change per deck.
I mean, I thought, my testing for that was obviously leading up to that, and then we had like 3 days basically.
Right.
And I was just like, I feel comfortable with this. We'll tweak it, and I don't think things are going to change too much. So I'm pretty happy.
Cool.
So.
Well, good luck tomorrow, and thanks for coming in and walking us through it.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Stick around. We've got plenty more coverage coming of the Players' Championship here in Roanoke.